Hey y'all, it's Tasha with Pine Knot Family Farm. Welcome back to the kitchen. And you're probably wondering what I'm doing with all these ingredients in front of me. We're gonna be making the boys' birthday cakes today. We're gonna have a huge party this coming weekend and just do both of the birthdays at one time and have a big get together. So we're gonna be doing two different cakes, two different themes. I'm gonna be doing chocolate cake and an almond vanilla cake. So stick with me and I'll show y'all how I do that. They all start with cake mixes and then I just dose them up and they are amazing cakes. I've used them wedding cakes, birthday cakes, just all different things that I've decorated with. So our goal today is to get them done and put in the freezer, wrapped up, put in the freezer. I'll pull them back out later in the week, the day before the party, and decorate. So this will probably be a two-part video. So the idea of it is Austin wants a cowboy themed birthday cake with horses and cows on it. So we're going to do a two-tiered. I'll do two of these. I've only got one cake pan, so I'll have to bake them twice. And stack it up like this. He'll have a roper with a rope on top and cows down on the bottom. And Case wants a shark beach themed birthday cake. He actually went to the beach last week and caught a shark. So we're doing water themed cake for him, and it'll be two of these baked on the bottom, and then I've got two of these smaller ones. Some pans I don't have double of, others I do. So give you an idea of kind of what we're going for. I will have both of these cake recipes in the description below at the bottom. I'll try to go in detail when I'm making the cakes, but in case you miss it, check out the bottom and they'll be there. We're gonna start with the chocolate cake, and the first thing that I'm going to do is just grease down my pans really well and flour those. If you are gonna do one cake and decorate it, and you're gonna do chocolate and vanilla both on the same cake, which is what I normally do the vanilla on the bottom. It's just got a lot more structure ability. The chocolate cake is very soft, but since Austin loves chocolate and Case loves vanilla, I'm gonna go ahead and just try to do double chocolate. Going to put some dowels in there and brace it really well, so it should be fine. Got everything pretty much laid out. I'm going to be doubling this recipe. I'm gonna have to make it, I think I figured up four times, so I'm gonna double it 2 times each. When I call off the ingredients, I'm just gonna call them off as if I was making one cake, so that way it's easy for y'all. But just know that I will be doubling it over here on my end. The thing we're gonna start with is a plain old cake mix. Now it is okay to use a cake mix when making cakes. I dose mine up. A lot of bakeries I've went to and talked to them, and they use cake mixes, just plain cake mixes. They don't even dose them up. So when you are getting a cake at a bakery, a lot of times you're getting a cake mix that's just had other things added to it and kind of dosed up a little bit. So I'm going to show y'all that trick today. Devil's Food cake mix, you'll need one of those, one small thing of jell-o instant chocolate pudding, a cup of sour cream, and I'm not going to measure that. I'm just going to put it in there. That was 2 cups for me. Next, we're going to do a cup of vegetable oil. The exact amount. I've got more out in my stock room though. And next is going to be a half a cup of milk. And then you're going to want to do 4 eggs. Get my compost over here to throw my eggshells in. I do use those out in the garden. We got some turkey eggs we're going to use too. To whisk these up, just beat them before you mix it in a cake. Now, if the recipe calls for beaten eggs, make sure that you beat them. It does make a difference in just how the cake turns out, the texture of the cake. So if you ever do come across a recipe Don't skip that part and think, oh, it'll get beaten in the mixer. We're going to let all this mix together. That mix together for about 2 minutes. Now I'm just going to go in and scrape around the edges, make sure everything got incorporated really nicely. And this cake mix is thick. So that's what you're going to want, a real thick mix. And I promise it's going to be delicious. The last thing that we're going to do is we're going to hand mix in about 2 cups of mini chocolate chips. Now, a lot of times I'll take regular chocolate chips, take my knife, chop them up really finely. Today I splurged and bought the mini chocolate chips just because I knew I had a lot to do. So you're going to want 2 cups in yours. So you're just going to take your spatula, incorporate those chocolate chips in really nicely. I'm going to do my large pan first. And I've got some shortening and flour on it. What I do is I like to take my cakes, tap them, just gets any air pockets out and kind of makes the cake a little bit more even. These are going to go in a 350-degree oven. Now I'm going to have to watch these because they're going to be different times they'll be done. My cupcakes that I make with this batter here, I've got it down exactly 17 minutes. But these, you just have to keep an eye on them, stick a knife in them. When it comes out clean, you know they're done. So I'm probably going to check them at 20 minutes, especially for this small one. This bigger one will be upwards of 45 minutes at least. So we're going to get these in the oven and we'll start on the vanilla cake. We've got our chocolate cakes baking in the oven, the first round of them for me anyways, and we're going to move on to the vanilla cake. Now I call this an almond wedding cake. It's just a really nice vanilla almond cake. I'm going to be, once again, doubling this recipe. I'm going to give it to you in the single. So everything that I do will be doubled on my end, but this will be for the single. A white cake mix, plain white cake mix. You're going to want one of those. Next is going to be 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I got out my big bulk containers of it just because I knew I would be doing a lot and didn't want to have to keep refilling my canisters. So 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Once again, I'm going to be doing 2 because I'm doubling. The sugar, 1 cup of sugar. And 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Now you're going to take all these dry ingredients and just kind of incorporate them together real slowly. Got your dry ingredients incorporated pretty nicely. We're going to move on to the wet ingredients, and it's going to be 1 1/3 cups of water. I've already measured out my doubled amount. 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And 1 cup of sour cream. I'm not measuring that once again either. Now we're going to add our extracts. I have had this almond extract forever. It comes from an international grocery store. It says West Indian imported pure natural almond essence. Ingredients is natural almond extract and alcohol in it. And then my vanilla. You're going to do 1 teaspoon of each of these. Once again, I am doubling. I know you get tired of hearing me say that, but I don't want anyone to get confused. Now on the almond extract, I usually do a little bit more. I kind of let my teaspoon overflow on it. Give it a nice almond flavor. And the last thing is going to be 4 egg whites. Not the yolks, just the whites. After years of doing it by hand, I finally invested in one of these egg separators. We're going to mix all of this together for about a minute or two. Those lumps still in that cake mix there. That's what you're looking for. Got Crisco smeared in there and then flour, so it's really nicely greased. So I'm going to tap my cake mixes. I don't know if y'all can see those bubbles releasing in there. I think this chocolate cake is done, and that top will go down on it a little bit, and then I will cut it off to make it smooth. Let's check the chocolate cake, and y'all don't judge my dirty oven. I haven't cleaned it in a while. Give it a few more minutes. I'm putting them on cooling racks, I'm reusing the pans and making more cakes. So as far as both of these cakes go, it's just 350 degrees for how long you would normally cook a cake, you know, 20 to 30 minute mark. You just have to set the timer. My cake pans are all different sizes, so I'm just keeping a very close eye on them. I'll bring y'all back once they get completely cooled off, get them in the freezer. These are both great recipes, so I encourage you to give them a try. I use the chocolate cake recipe for all different kinds of things. We'll just put like a chocolate fudge icing on top sometimes, cupcakes, just different things. So they're both really good recipes and super easy. So we've got a couple of the cakes completely cooled off. We've still got some more in the oven, so we're at different stages. First thing I do is I take some plastic wrap, set it down on here. Flip the cake over. This one is pretty level. I'm not going to cut any of it off. I go the other way with it. Make sure it's good and wrapped up. And we're going to take some newspaper. And start folding it up. And we're just going to go through and do that with all these cakes. And I've already done the little small chocolate cake for one of them. So these two are ready for the freezer. So I hope y'all have enjoyed hanging out with me in the kitchen again today. I've got one more cake over here cooling. The rest of them are wrapped, ready to go in the freezer. You can leave these cakes. I've left them in there 3 and 4 weeks at a time. I'm gonna pull them out after about 5 days and decorate them the night before the party. Austin's will be a cowboy themed with horses and cows, and Case's will be a shark, beach, kind of ocean, water theme. So look forward to part 2 of me getting these cakes decorated and put together, and I'll take y'all along with me. Have a great one, and until next time, God bless.